surfacing. Okay, so we'll just move on to the third workspace. So that is nothing but surfacing. So if you go to start in mechanical design, we have this wireframe and surface design. But in this workbench here, it is limited to some of the tools. Okay, see, we have only wireframe, surfaces, operations. Okay, so that's why what we'll do is to learn surfacing, instead of going in mechanical workbench, we'll directly go to shapes and we'll go to generative shape designs. Okay, so if you come here, you'll get plenty of tools like wireframe, surfaces, volumes, operations, advanced operations, and lastly the major important thing that is called as BAW templates. So that is nothing but what we call it as body in white. Okay, so now directly I'll start up with this surfaces here. So do you have any idea why we choose surfaces over part design in any modeling softwares?
No, sir.
So the reason behind is while doing that helical gear, I was telling you about that open profiles, right? So in part design, you can't add up the material to the open profiles, but in surfaces, you can easily add the material to the open profile. So that is the first reason. And the second reason is these surfaces are widely used in your aerospace industries as well as your car designing industries. Okay. So and this surfaces works with zero thickness, so 0 mm of thickness, what we consider. But later on, once the drawing is completed, we'll assign the thickness to it according to our requirement. Okay. So now the first thing what we have, I don't go with this wireframes, I'll go with the surfaces. Okay. So today I'll just try to complete this surfaces. So so this surface design takes around hardly 3 classes, I guess. 3 to 4 classes it will take. Okay. So now the first thing what we'll do is we'll learn the surfaces what we have here. So in this, the first command is nothing but what we have. It is called as extrude, and you can notice. So once you are using this extrude, you can easily add up material to this kind of open profile. See, can you be able to add the material to this in part design?
No, sir.
See, we have the black dots so that it's an open profile. You can't add the material to it, but in this you can easily add. So I'll just go with this extrude here. Just give a click and you can notice the material has been starting adding up. So this color, what we say, this the pale yellow color, it every time highlights that you are working in surfacing. Okay, so same thing. So if you have limit 1 as well as you have the limit 2, if you go with mirror extend, you can go with mirror extend, or else you can take it as reverse direction. Once you say okay to this, the material will be added. The thickness can be assigned later on. And the beauty of this is, see, once you see it from a view, it will look like it's having zero thickness, right? Only you can see the drawing what you have done, but the material will be existing there. Okay. Any doubts in extrude?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Now I'll just move on to this revolve. So revolve works just like the way what we have done. That is nothing but revolve itself, right? In CATIA.
Yes, sir.
See, what I'll do is I'll just try to create a half profile like this instead of creating a see. I'll just stop it up to this. I'll say exit. Now I'll just go with this revolve. This profile should be revolved upon this axis, and you can notice it is being coming hollow. Even if you give 360, so it appears like it has been it's a closed profile, but it will be hollow inside. So what that thing indicate means, in surface whatever the material you will add, so it can be only added on this wireframe. It not be filled. Okay, it will never fill inside the material. So the material will be added only upon this wireframe design what you will draw there. So the next thing what we have, it is called as a sphere. Once you click on this, it will ask you for a center point. If you just give a click on the center point, your sphere will be started. Your sphere will be started here. So here you can manage anything. You can manage anything like this. If you want, you can use this merge. So there's nothing but this part, the merge start axis, and the merge center axis. If you don't want this, if you want a fully sphere, means what you can do is you can just click on this. Each and everything will be closed, and the thing what you will be only noticing is this radius. So how much sphere radius you want, you can give. So whether is this hollow or it's fully solid?
Hello, sir.
It will be
Hello.
hollow.
Hello.
Yeah, it will be hollow, obviously. So next what we have, it is called a cylinder. Just select this. It will ask you for a center point and the direction wherever you want. So it will go with this limit 1, limit 2, and the radius what you want. Okay, so it will be a round wall kind of thing. So the next thing what we have after this is called as sweeps. Okay. No, sorry, offset. So the thing what we have, it is called as offset. These offsets are very much important. So how this offset works, for example, if I have a profile like this, I'll go with an arc. I'll just go with an arc like this. I'll say exit. I'll just extrude this guy here. I'll say okay to this. Now if I just click on this offset, if I select this profile, you can notice another profile is being created with the distance of 7 mm. If you want both the sides, just give a click on both the sides. And if you just drag it a little bit, again you can notice two of them. Okay, so there is nothing but your offset. So the variable offset we have, which we don't prefer, so instead of that we'll go with this offset. So the beauty of this rough offset is nothing but what you can do is you can give a thing called deviation. So once you just go on giving this, and if you say preview to it, so there might be some deviations, which is can you notice this deviations here? Can you notice this deviation angle here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is called as the deviation angle.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Ranjit?
Sorry for that inconvenience. I got a call. So these deviations are highly preferable, and this deviations are highly used when you are doing something directly upon this. What we say that aerodynamics. Okay. So if you are preferring some aerodynamics, the deviation works a lot. Okay. So if you go, or if you have one of your friends who's doing aeronautical engineer, that guy knows what is this, what is the importance of using these deviations. Okay. So I mean this rough offset. So I had one of my student who was doing this aeronautical engineering. So he did CATIA. Maybe he's working in UK now, I guess. I don't know. I'm not in contact, but he told me once he called me. He told me this deviations what we learned today. This is very much important in his field. Okay. So the next what we have the sweeps. Okay. So I'll explain you the sweep at the last. So I'll just go with this thing. So this is nothing but fill. So this fill is used to create sheets. So the sheet, what I'll say, see for example, if you have a centered rectangle like this, and if you try to add the material to this, so it will be extruded in this pattern only on the walls. If you want to make it fill, just go with this fill here, just select this and say okay to it. It needs a close boundary. Irrespective of the shape, what it only needs is it needs a close boundary. Okay. So if you have a close boundary, the material will be filled inside and it will be acting like a plate. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So this thing, I guess I don't need to explain you, this multi-section surfaces. Okay. So it works 100% similar to the multi-section solids what you have learned. To create that spur gear, you just try it once for different planes, try to create different profiles and try to add the material. If you are not getting it, I'll explain you in the next class. Okay. Or do you want me to explain this also? Do you want me to explain?
No, sir. No, sir. You can explain for the next lesson.
Yeah, no, you just try it once. So it's the same thing what you have done your multi-section solid, that helical gear part, no? So this is the same tool. See, you can notice the sections and the guide curves. You don't need to go anywhere to find the guide curves. You have the guide curves here itself. So that is nothing but the 3D spline what we have used as our guide curves in the at the time of creating this helical gear. Okay. So now this thing is called as blend, which is majorly used to connect between two surfacing models. So just see this carefully. So I have created a part like this. I'll say exit and I'll add up the material by leaving some gap to the axis. See, I'll extend the limit 1 in this direction, and in the same direction I'll extend the limit 2 as well, so that I could get a gap in between the center planes and this profile what I've created now. Now what I'll do is I'll just go with the same plane here. I'll create a profile a bit different, okay? So a bit small and bit different in shape. Now again, I'll extrude this guy, but what I'll do is again, I'll extrude this in a opposite direction like this, and I'll say okay to this guy. I'll just, if I don't want this, I'll just hide these things. So hide and show. Now just click on this blend here. So what it is asking is the first curve and the first support, second curve and the second support. So now this I'll select as my first curve and this one as my first support. And this has my second curve and this has my second support. If you say preview, you can notice the slope and the adding up of material has been done. If you want to vary the shape and sizes, so here you can go with, so you can increase the tensions and all. If you increase the tension, you can notice there is a change in its behavior. If you just click on these arrow marks.
I think these are all used for wind turbine.
Yeah, wind turbines and all. Turbines, turbine blades, your fan blades. And
Overall in aerodynamics.
100% overall in aerodynamics. Okay.
Okay.
So if someone is dealing with aerodynamics, they need this kind of things, this torsion, tensions. See, each and everything will, they'll prefer these values. What you have to do is you have to enter this. Okay. So again, you can vary the closing points. So this is the closing points. What we have, this 4 closing points. If you vary the closing points, obviously the profile is going to be vary. Same way we have couplings here. So couplings or spline. So this couplings or splines, how they work means, for example, if I just create something like this, a straight one, again, if I just create this one to be a straight one. So why it is coming straight means there is no distortion in between. If you want to create some distortion, you have to create some points over there. Okay. So just go with this blind again. So first curve, the first support, second curve, I need to select. So if I know something is happening with the first curve and the first support, the second curve and the second support. If I just go with this coupling, so I need to select this as my couplings. Okay. I don't know why it is not being selected. Just because it's a straight line. Okay. So if you just select the splines, it will follow that particular path. Got my point? What I'm trying to explain you. So this changes won't be available. See, this changes what you are getting. It will just follow this particular path. Okay. Why it is not being selected couplings? This operations. Okay. Okay, so instead of following upon their own, they'll just try to follow this particular path. Okay. So or else you can directly go with this sweep here. This one with this guide curve, I'll go with. If I say preview. Okay. So I'll explain you these things. Okay. I'll explain you this kind of profiles in sweep. So sweep is nothing but the profile what you have done. Okay. So sweep works in this pattern. For example, so I'll just create this kind of profile. So now if I want to create a path, sorry, the path has been created. If I want to create a profile here, so what I have to do? So I don't have any plane here, right? So how to do?
Select that line, sir.
Okay, if I select that line, it's not taking, it takes me on the same sketch. So if I want exactly a perpendicular sketch to this, any ideas?
Sir, can we select that plane, sir?
Which one? This one, huh?
Yes, sir.
See, if you select this plane, you'll be going to draw something here, all, or it is quite hard to draw it here. Okay, see, even if I just go to the sketch here, see now you can't draw here. Even if you draw it out here, see how it will come. So that thing will come somewhere like this. Oh, sorry. So this thing will come somewhere like this. Okay. So if you want to create exactly on this point, what you have to do, you have to go with a reference plane, right? Just click on this reference plane. select this curve here. See, the plane has been created. So just directly click on that point. That plane will be selected on that point. Okay. Now what you can do is you can just directly click on the sketch, just select this. So the sketching will start. Just draw it somewhere here. If it's not joining, just give a click outside. So just make it constrained like this. Or else there is one more option, what we say. So instead of using this normal sketch here, so I'll just go with this position, the sketch. So just select this plane like this. And here you can see the origin. So it is implicit. Implicit is nothing but it will directly deal with this axis. If you want to change it, you can change it. Just give a click. So just click on this projection point here and select this as your reference. Now that axis will be started here. So that means the 0, 0, what we say the starting point will be taken on this, irrespective of this planes. Okay. Now you can just directly draw anything, whatever you want. And if you say exit to this, so it will be done. Now you just directly deal with this sweep. So sweep, it is just like your rip command. So just click on the sweep. So just select this profile and select this as your path. And if you say okay to this, you can notice that particular profile will follow that particular path. Okay.
Yes,
Got
sir.
it? So
Got it,
same.
sir.
Okay. So have you guys seen these silencers and your exhaust pipes and all?
Yes, sir.
So the
Yes, sir.
variations in those dimensions, it will be circular, but it will be varying at point to point. Okay. So those kind of profiles can be drawn by using this variable sweep or adaptive sweep, what we say. To do this, so this is the same profile and same plane I'll use, but if, while you are doing this, again go with this position sketch. Just click on this, take it as a projection point and select this. Now what you have to do is you have to create a profile, and that profile should have some dimensions. Okay. So without dimensions, you can't do it. I'll give it some 25. I'll say exit to this. Now be careful. So once you select this adaptive sweep, so the first thing what it will ask you for is the guiding curve. So in rib and the sweep, what we did is it was asking me for the profile, then it was asking me for the path. Now in this case, it will firstly ask you for the guide curve. So select the guide curve, select the sketch. Don't say okay to this guy. So always use preview until and unless your profile is completed. So now you can notice it is following the same dimension till its end. But if you want to add some sessions and if you want to vary that profiles every each and every point, so what you have to do is you have to give a right click on this user session and click on this add after. So once you say add after, a new profile has started. So where you have to start this, so that's why you again give a click on this point, say create point. So once you say create point, you need to select that particular arc and you have to create a point at what distance you want. So just give a click on there. I'll say okay. And you can notice another session has been started there, right?
Yes, sir.
So now just click on this parameters. So here you can increase or decrease that particular part. I have increased now. No, don't say okay. So say preview to it. Once you say preview, you can notice there is a raise of this diameter in this session. Again, come back to sessions. So now you can notice this session 2 has been added. So this is the session 2. Again, give a right click, say add after, right click, say create point and just select this line here. I'll just stop it somewhere here. I'll say okay. And again, you can notice this user session here. I'll just go with this parameters. I'll just try to decrease this guy. I'll say preview to it. And you can see the changes here, right? Again, I'll just go with the session, give a right click, say add after, say right click, say I'll directly go with this create endpoint. So I'll just select this as my endpoint, and you can notice the session has been started there. I'll just directly say okay to this. So just because it's endpoint, and you can see the variations in the shape, right? Any doubts?
No,
See, this is the most important command in CATIA in surfaces. Okay, so up to this, you know, this fill, multi-section, this blend, and these things. But this multi-section, what we say, this variable sweep is very much important. Okay, any doubts? Any
no,
doubts?
sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So if you say I'll just go with this next thing. So surfaces we have completed. If you say I'll just go with this
Sir,
wireframe. Yeah,
can
tell
you
me.
do one drawing regarding this wireframe? Sir?
Wireframe you want me to show? You want me to show a diagram means? So I have this. This I have the jug model. Jug models from there it will start. Wait, I'll show you. Come in a portrait. See, these are the. I guess. Do you have these drawings in your workbooks?
No, sir, I didn't observe this.
You just do one thing. Take a screenshot of it. If you are using your mobile, if you are using your PC, do you have a snipping tool?
Yes, sir, I have.
So just take a snip of it. Just because it's very important. You have to use it for your this thing. What do you say that? Rib command. So this is very much important. Material adding and took it out. Took it out. Okay, so we'll just try to create this jug model by using the surface design. So I'll just directly jump into this. So here I'll select this profile and I'll go on sketching on this. So now what I have to do is you have to create this profile first. So just leave this, okay, up to this 50. Total this 250 you take, you just leave this 20 just because we have to create this shape at this 20. So it's quite hard to create it directly with this sketch. So that's why I'll just draw it from this R55, okay. So to do that, I'll just create this part here up to this, okay. So to do that, I'll just select this. I'll go with this 3-point arc here. So I'll just give a click here, somewhere here. So this is the first shape. In the same way, I'll just create this shape as well. I'll just take this two guys directly tangent. So this radius, it was 55. And I don't know about this radius. So this radius is 195. So it is 195. So once it is done, now what I have to do is I have to assign the dimensions. Totally it is 250, but from here to here he has given it as 50 mm. So what I'll do is I'll just drag it from this point to this particular point. It is 50, but you can notice it is not coming exactly horizontal, right? Sorry, it is not coming exactly vertical, right? Guys, can't you hear me?
Sir.
So is this dimension coming exactly vertical or not?
No, sir.
See here. So I have this dimension as exactly vertical. So these dimensions are not coming exactly vertical. So that's why what you have to do is, while taking this dimension, just give a right click and say vertical measure directions. Okay. See, now it is coming exactly vertical. I'll change it to 50. So now another dimension from here to this particular point, again give a right click, make it to vertical measuring distance. He has given it as total 250. Okay. So once it is done, just drag this out. So just drag this point to the center. So you can notice the shape is being arrived here. So now he has given this radius, the total length from this point to this point. You can notice here, right? He has given it as 140.
140.
As I'm doing the half profile, so I'll take this dimensions as half. So from here to here, I'll take it to 70, right? So once it is done, again you have to notice this here. See, he has given the diameter as 90. So that means from here to here, totally has given it the dia as 90. So again, what I have to do is I have to take the half. So from this end point, I want from this end point to this particular center line. I'll just make it normal too. So that it should be taken it as half. So the fully diameter has 45. Okay. See, the sketch is isoconstrained now. Now again, what you have to do is you have to create the circular base, right? So you can notice
Yes, sir.
this. So he has given R5 again from here to here a straight line. Again, this radius has
One.
R175. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll just zoom it a bit. Again, I'll just go with this 3-point arc itself. I'll just create it something like this. And I'll assign the radius to this guy
Fine.
as 5 mm. And from here there is a straight line he has given. Okay, so I'll just draw it exactly like this. So he didn't give any distance to this. I'll take it as some 7 or 8 mm. Now from here to the center has given an arc, and he has mentioned that arc radius as
175.
175. Okay, 175 I'll take. Now see, it is not being isoconstrained, so the reason behind is this particular part is moving. So that's why what I'll do is I'll just try to make it constrain this point and this arc. I'll make them as coincidence. Okay. So now again, see, this guy is moving here. See, it is being moved. So what I'll do is I'll make this arc and this line as tangent. Okay. See, if you check this, so it is isoconstrained. Got it? So once it is done, I'll just say exit to this. I'll just go with this revolve here. I'll select this as my profile and this as my center axis. I'll give it as 360 degree. I'll say okay to this. See, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So now what I have to do is I have to create this upper part. So that is very much important. And if you can notice the overall distance, what he has given here is, if you can notice the extra 20 mm, that means this 250 plus this 20 I have to take. So what I'll do is I'll just go with this reference plane and I'll select this as my plane. I'll take it total as 270, one plane. And again, I'll take a plane at 250. So that exactly it will come here. So I'll take it to 250 as well. So once these two planes are completed, I'll just select this plane. I'll go on sketching. So I have to take this sketch out. So that's why what I'll do, I'll just directly go with this project 3D element. I'll select this circle. I'll say exit. So that means one sketch I took it out. So that is a copy of that sketch. Again, I'll just select this plane. So this is very much important. I'll go on sketching. So now what I'll do is I'll just create a circle and I'll check for the dimensions. See, he has given it as dia 120. Okay. So I'll assign the distance for this as 120 mm. Now to create the shape, so I have to create the shape. Okay. So he has given it as some angle 170 and the radius 5. So I'll do that things now. So what I'll do is I'll just directly take a line. Sorry, I'll just go with this profile instead of going a line. So I'll just take it exactly at the center. I'll just create it here. Now what I have to do is I have to make them equally divided. So that means I'll go with allow symmetric line and I'll just make them symmetric. At the same time, I'll just assign the angle between these two guys as 70 degree what he has shown, and this thing should be filleted. Okay. So from here to here, he has given it as R5. I'll take it as R5. Now to make them constant, what I'll do is I'll just assign a distance from this particular point to the center axis as some 85 mm. Okay. So now once everything is done, I'll just trim it off. I'll just trim this extra material what I have here. So once it is done, I'll say exit to this. Now you can see that shape of the jug has been came here. So to just make these points to be attached here, so I have to create some 2 points here. So that's why I'll just give a double click on that same sketch. Now what I'll do is I'll just take this points. I'll just create 2 points somewhere here. So again, what I'll do is I'll just add the material, just make them symmetric with this particular guy and assign the distance between these two as some 12 mm or 10 mm I'll take. Once it is done, I'll say exit to this. Now what I have to do is I have to give this guy a guide curve. So I'll just take this straight line. I'll select these two. I'll just go with this two guide curves now. So it's a complicated. So I've done with, oh sorry. Okay. So I've gone with two guide curves. Now I'll just use this multi-section surfaces. So this is my first profile and this is my second profile. And this is my guide curve 1. You can notice that closing point 2 has been shifted somewhere here. Just give a right click on this guy, say replace, and give a click on this. Okay, so once it is done, just say preview to it, and you can notice the changes here. So it is being shifted there. So what I'll do is I'll select this one again. I have to select these two guide curves, so that's why I'll go with this multi-section solids, sorry, surfaces. Select these two, click on this guide curve, select this as your guide curve 1 and guide curve 2, and just change the closing point somewhere here. So that means it should be on the same line. So once it is done, say preview to it and say okay to this guy. Push it. So just don't know why it is not coming. So again, I'll go with this. Let me try it out with a single guide curve. Okay. This one and this one. So I'll take this one as my guide curve. What I'll do is I'll just change this closing point upon this point. Again, this one to this particular point. Now so preview. Okay, now I got the shape. Okay, got the shape right. That typical jug shape, what we say. See here. So I'll just hide this. I'll just hide the sketch. I don't want this. Even I don't want this plane to be shown. Even this one. Got it right? Any issues? Any doubts?
Got it. Got it.
No, sir, got it, sir.
Okay, you just need to practice this. Okay, so that handle is quite very much easy to create. See, what I have to do is be careful while selecting. Just don't create the handle here, so it's impossible to pour the water out. So just select this plane here. So I'll just go on sketching. So I'm just doing it roughly just because of the restricted time. See, so oh sorry. So just go with this. So I'll just create it something like this. I'll say exit to this guy. So now the thing is creating a plane. Just select this reference plane, select this line and carefully select that point. So just go on sketching on, instead of that, I'll directly go with this position sketch. Select this plane and your projection point will be somewhere here. Say okay to that. Now just carefully create a circle here, okay? So just create a circle somewhere like this. So exit to this guy. Now go with the sweep here. This profile should, oh sorry. So I'll just make them a little bit curvy, right? I'll go with this trim command. I'll say exit to this. Now what I'll do is I'll go with the sweep. This, I guess I got some issues. So let it be sharp only for now. So I'll just this one and this path. It's quite hard to see. So just make this guide curve curvy. Okay, I just forgot to make it curvy. So we have those dimensions as well for that particular handle part. See here, he has given it. Can you see that? He has given, he has assigned the radiuses and all. So this radius are two radiuses of R25. So he has assigned this length as well as the height of this and the angle to it. Okay. You can do that, right? Or do you want me to show that? You'll do it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts till now? Any doubts? Any issues?